Just waiting for people to join. Hi guys, afternoon. Hi everyone. Highs. Oh, Zenanda's already in here. Great stuff. Good afternoon, everyone. Highs. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm super excited for today's conversation with one of our alumni, Zenanda Mqandi. Hi guys. Hi Atzile. Hi Mpho. Tejo. Hi friend. Analo's always on my lives. I'm not sure why. Because he's a medical doctor and he should be saving lives right now. But he's always on my lives. But I love the support. Thanks for tuning in, friend. Hi, Love Lungani. Hi, Zintle. Zenande, I'm going to be with you in a moment. I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. Hi, Montemile. I'm just seeing a few of our mentees as well. Hi, Nuran. Hope everyone is well. Before we even start, actually, can I have everyone just drop one word in the comment section, right? That best describes how you're feeling as of now, like today. One word in the comment section that best describes how you're feeling. So how is everyone doing? I just want to know. I love reading on how people are doing and what's been happening, what's been shifting. So let me know how everyone is doing. And then we're going to kick this off. It's not going to be a long live. Today will probably be done at 12:30. Lihlohonolo, you're saying you're feeling overwhelmed. Sure, aren't we all? You're feeling overwhelmed, okay. And it's okay to feel overwhelmed at times. That tells me one thing, right? That you are still human. But just keep your chin up. Things are going to work out. They always do, right? So just trust in the process. Nokwazi, demotivated. Shoo. Yeah. Tired. Zenande, lol, nervous. I can get why you're feeling nervous, Zenande. But there's nothing to even feel nervous about. Love Lungani, you are saying motivated, yay. Love Lungani is feeling motivated. Love that. Ekim Muhatle, excited, awesome stuff. There's some people who are feeling excited and optimistic, which is really great. Okay, guys, so today we've got one of our alumni, as I've already mentioned, Zenanda Mqandi, and I'm just going to be having like a cute conversation with her around resilience and how she has just been able to kill it, right? And I hope you're all excited. You've got your pens and your notepads to just take down some notes for yourselves. And please feel free, ask Zenanda questions, ask me questions, use the Q&A box, use the comment section. I don't just want to be the only one asking these questions, right? We're having this live because I want to allow people the opportunity to ask questions as well. So Zenande, if you could just request, I guess, because I don't know how to bring you on in here. So please just request so that I can bring you in and we can start hitting the ground running. There you are. I hope you are going to come in soon. There she is. Hi.
Hi.
How are you? How are you doing?
I'm well, and how are you?
I am feeling excited to be having this live with you. You have no idea.
I'm still feeling a bit nervous, but yeah.
There's absolutely nothing to feel nervous about, girl. You've got this. Just a few basic questions, and we're going to be done and over
Okay,
with it.
no
Okay.
problem.
But how are you feeling? Like, honestly, how's life been for you
Life has
so
been
far lately?
interesting. It's exciting. Like I'm still in disbelief, to be totally honest with you, Siva. I don't know how many times I open my emails and I go check my contract is really big.
I know, I
It's
used to do that as
unbelievable.
well.
I cannot believe it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, a miracle already.
Wonderful. Okay. Listen, I'm so grateful that you're here. I know you've got a busy day and you've got places to be, but I'm really grateful that you've honored this invitation. And I hope it's going to help someone who's maybe feeling, down, demotivated, and they're just really looking for some inspiration today.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that you can be that for someone, even if it's one person here today. So really, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you so much for having me.
Sure. Okay, so before we even start, right, talking about articles and how you got to signing, just walk us through your background and your upbringing. Who are you? Where do you come from? How was, home like growing up?
So I am second born of four kids. So I'm but the eldest girl, so which always makes you the eldest, whether you like it or not. So I've got an older brother and two younger sisters. I'm from Mthatha originally. Family's from a place called Bosumvaba. Yeah. I know, hi
Hmm.
Hobby. I'm from
Wow.
Mthatha, but I spent majority of my schooling in Grahamstown. I was in boarding school from grade four, and did a young year in East London where I was at school here for I think for grade nine. Then I went back to boarding school. So I've been away from home I think most of my life. So yeah, that was me growing up. Grew up a very close knit family. My family believes in working all the time, so holidays meant going back home and working. I think I started filling up a car at the age of like eight, nine. My holidays, I spent Mthatha selling electricity at my mom's business. So I've always just worked. So it was school and then back at home, you chill for a little bit, but you'd be at work. My grandfather didn't believe in holidays. He was just like,
Mm-hmm.
you need to know where this money that's paying for your school fees is coming from. So pretty much
Yeah.
worked my whole life. And then
Yeah.
after matric, I went over to Wits to do a BCom law, and that's kind of where this journey started.
Yeah. Yes, yes. I feel like we've got so much in common, right? So I'm from Mthatha as well, and my family, well, my dad's side of the family, they from Etsofimvaba. And also, yes,
Oh,
close
that's
knit family, very hardworking, individuals. But you mentioned, that, for you, hard work at home was really something, that was really cemented. Has that taught you anything in life, and has it impacted the way things have turned out for you, would you say?
I think it's the one thing that's kept me going. As a result, kind of doing nothing frustrates my parents more than it does me. But I know doing nothing does frustrate me. Like it's if you're sitting doing
Yes,
nothing, like what's the next thing? So I think it's taught me just to keep pushing and look for the next thing.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we moved to Vids to do what? BCom law, thinking.
Ooh,
What
I
are we
went.
studying at Wits?
We are doing a bachelor of yeah, BCom law. Yeah. So I did a BCom law,
Okay.
majored in insurance and risk management. But
Okay.
that was not the initial plan. So matric marks went like they went bad. So the mere fact that I
Mm-hmm.
was able to get into bits. So I really got there and I was like, yeah, I can do this. So initially I wanted to major in finance. Oh, and it showed me planes.
Yes.
So so I first did finance because in second year at Wits you have to choose two BCom majors. So I initially did finance and insurance and risk management. That didn't work out. I was at Wits for a very long time. a very long time. So I was kind of chopping and changing and trying to figure out what works for me. Economics was the bane of my existence. Must have repeated that maybe 3 times. I really
Mm-hmm.
struggled through my. Also, you had to, when you do a BCom advert, you have to do math as well. And my math in high school wasn't bad, but you got to varsity and it was just not the same thing.
It's something
Um,
else.
so finding my feet during my BCom, I really struggled. The law subjects also, like criminal law and contract law were, I think, the last two things I finally like got right. That's what I had outstanding at the end. To a point where
Mm-hmm.
first year I managed to only pass accounting, so I got excluded in first year.
Yeah.
So firstly, I got excluded, appealed. Like if you want tips on the exclusion process, please contact me. I will take you through it. I've done it 3 times. So I know. So
Sure.
first time I managed to get back in. They allowed me to repeat first year, which second time around, okay, went better, but I still didn't pass everything. So moving on to second year, I still had some first year courses that I was kind of dragging along with me, which was economics, which kind of bars you from actually progressing. And then that was six. So I arrived in varsity. I was in matric 2011, so I was in first year 2012.
Yes.
Um, and I managed to eventually finish my BCom in 2021. So you can do the maths. So in between all of that, I was repeating where I could, appealing where I could, because they then gave me another chance to try. Then I came back. Then third in final year, things kind of started falling apart again. So third year of my BCom. And then they were like, okay, we'll allow you back next year, but if you don't get this right, then that's it. Because there's also a cap as to how many years you can be registered for a particular course. And then after that, I failed criminal law and contract law. And then they were like, okay, that's it. See, you cannot come back. But through chatting to some friends, I found out about what's called concurrent registration. So what that is you can find out from the university what universities they would credit a particular course for. So I found out that if I did criminal law through UNISA, they would credit me, and if I did contract law through Rhodes, they would credit me. So that was in 2020, beginning of 2020. So I went and registered criminal law at Rhodes, which meant I live in East London, which meant me driving from here twice a week to a lecture, 45-minute lecture. So I did that. Thank God COVID hit, because that meant we moved to online classes.
Most, yeah.
And then I did criminal law through UNISA. So that was 2020. That went well with criminal law. Not so much with contract law, because the things at Rhodes work a bit differently. So then
Yeah.
again in 2021, I did it. But at the end of that, I sent the results to WITS, they credited me, and then I was able to graduate at WITS. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I decided, let me just register my LLB at UNISA. So I started my LLB at UNISA in 2020.
Ah,
Yeah.
listen, I think you are, the perfect person for this Instagram live. You're the epitome of resilience. I feel like you've been through quite a lot of setbacks and challenges, but look at where you are now. And this is the conversation that I just want to have around resilience. So just tell me, Zenanda, in your own words, what is resilience, right? How would you define resilience, and how would you say resilience has helped shaped the person that you are today?
I think resilience is just the push to keep going. It's just to keep getting up no matter how many times you get knocked down. It's knowing what your goal is and pushing to get it no matter what. Um,
Yes.
so for me, I wanted this. I wanted this, and I had a picture of what I think what kept me going is having a picture of what I wanted for myself. So even though I'd be placed in places where, okay, you hear you passing, but like, no, I want a better pass. I want a better job. I have a
Yeah.
picture of what it's gonna look like. So I just didn't want to stop until I got there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And did you always know what you wanted out of your LLB degree, your BCom law? A lot of the students just don't know, right? Did you always know that articles was it? Like I wanted to, take this path?
Um, I'd say in the beginning of my journey at Wits, I remember sitting in a it was there was an exam I was writing, and we were writing in Hall 29. Anyone who went to Wits will know Hall 29. We used to call it Hal 29. And I was just like, there's no way every single one of us, it's a very big venue. There's more than 1,500 students that sit in there. And I was in there thinking, are every single one of us going to get into like an ENS and Norton Rose? Like, there's no ways. So I think at that stage, I was just like, I articles may not be exactly what I'm looking for, but or maybe articles maybe not in the traditional sense. I always thought I would like end up at like a bank,
Yeah.
and like into compliance, especially having done the BCom. I was like, okay, no, maybe the articles isn't the route. But I think at the back of my head, I did want to do it. It's just that it just seemed so impossible looking at the numbers, and
Yeah.
you like the probability of you being able to get in and you're not doing well at school, like what are your chances? So
Yes.
I think I was a bit discouraged somewhere during the journey that okay, maybe look elsewhere, because you might not,
Mhm.
because you look at the type of people that you're at school with, and you're like, hey, I'm not. People are passionate about this. Like I remember people talking
Yes.
about litigation in first year, and I was like, "What is litigation? Like, what does that word even mean?" So I just felt like people may have had more information than I did going in, and I think that
Mhm.
kind of set me back. So I had to make a conscious effort to kind of find out what exactly this means.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And so you come across SMA for sure at some point,
Yeah.
right? How do you come across SMA? What makes you want to join? And how was your experience like, being in our community? And then we'll talk about, you signing and, what the application process was like and rejections and whatnot.
Okay. So it was during. So I did my. I was doing busy doing my LLB, and it was going well.
Yeah.
Marks, I'll get distinctions. I was like, okay. So the possibility of applying and getting into places now looks a bit better for me, having been able to turn things around. But I think I just needed. I was just very unsure about what the CV should look like, cover letters. And I actually don't know how I came across SMA. It must have been on social media somewhere. And I think I also just needed someone on me, in
Yeah.
terms of like applying. So that's why I eventually was like, I remember I was actually leaving East London that day. And I was like, let me just do this. Because I remember I had my interview with you in like my friend's flat in Johannesburg on like a Saturday morning. And then my experience through it, I think there was a sense of like, I don't know, maybe accountability. I needed somebody on me about applying. Having that spreadsheet really just made you
Yes.
realize there's lots out there, but you also need to make the effort. And also constantly hearing other people, like their success stories, having the talks with the various HR personnel from the different firms, really made it seem like, okay, you can, it is possible. You just need to put in the work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember something that really pushed me keep applying, because there was a point where I was like, yo, I'm tired. Like the rejections are a lot. You kept on posting on social media the WhatsApp messages you'd get from people, and people would send an SMS saying, I got an offer, and I was just like, yay, one day I
Yes.
wish I can be the one. Like I pray one day that
Yeah.
my WhatsApp message is actually something that you post, and it really did happen. So I think that was like even though it was after like our cohort had like gone through
Yeah.
the different things courses make us go through. I think just seeing that constantly was just a reminder that you must keep trying. Because I don't know if you remember, but I had already started my articles when I got this offer.
Yeah.
Well, not officially, but
Yeah.
I had received an offer. So I was like, hey, when I received that, I was like, okay, maybe this is where I'm supposed to be. But then again,
Yes.
not fitting into the picture I had for myself. So
Mhm.
seeing that, and people were getting accepted, because you always think that as you must apply as quickly as early as possible, but it's still not impossible to get an offer in June the previous year, because posts do come up, and then you share them, and then you see people applying and people getting their offers, and you're like, that could be me, so why not? So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it really assisted. SMA, being part of SMA, really assisted with the push that I needed to do. Yeah.
Yeah. I always say to people that community is so important, right? And mentorship, because not everyone is getting it right. And people are feeling stuck. They don't know how to go about applying. I speak to a lot of students on a daily basis who don't even know what Leadly is all about. And it just boggles my mind every time. It's just like, how can you not know Leadly?
Yeah.
And, I help a lot of students as well with their CVs and cover letters. And I just see the many mistakes that people are making and they're not even aware of it, right? So
It's
mentorship
exhausting
is, yeah, I
to
feel like it's
pull through.
really, really important to just be held accountable, to do things the right way, and to have someone to give you, that extra push. But I'm sure there's someone here who's watching and listening, Zenande, and they're contemplating on whether or not to join SMA. What do you say to that person?
Um, Join.
Uh-huh.
You have very little to lose by doing it, and I think it really does help to build the community. Even with all these posts and stuff like that, I've had people sending me messages on LinkedIn, and what
Yeah.
that does, then you're able to pass on the knowledge that you've gained to the next person. So really, for community, it really does. And even beyond, guys, when we are the CAs, we're gonna need each other in the industry.
Yes.
So I think it even goes beyond this period that you are in, just to have, because it can be very lonely sending these
Yeah.
CVs, sending these cover letters, and you never know whether you're doing it right. And each place is different, so it really helps to know that when you have a talk with a presentation with the HR personnel from a certain firm, they will give you hints of what they are looking for. Then you know that to
Mhm.
modify it to what they are, that what they want, because it may be minor things like whether it has color on it or there's a picture on your CV and stuff like that. In certain places, that does make a difference. It may be that little thing that they may look at for like a split second and think, okay, let's take a deeper dive into this person. So you just it I think it really increases your chances. You have nothing
Definitely.
to lose. Do it.
Definitely. Love that. Guys, let me just remind you, if you have questions for Zenande, please feel free, use the comment section. If there's anything you would like to know, whether regarding, her application process or just questions in general, please either make use of the Q&A or the comment section. All right, so you join SMA, you're part of the community, and for sure you got a couple of rejections, right? Before many.
See, this was the only interview I had.
This is the only
This
interview you
is the
had?
only interview I had. This is the only interview
Girl,
I've ever been to.
what?
I kid you not.
How
I
do
kid
I
you
not
not.
know this?
Only interview I've never been past. I think there was one firm that I got shortlisted, but it was one of those internships for these it's always the international firms though. I got shortlisted for the internship for one of the firms, and I did an assessment, but it ended there.
Yes.
It ended there. This is the only one,
And you got in.
and I got in. I still don't know.
How does it happen happen? When did you apply? What do they say to you? What's the application process like? And maybe also just walk us through everything, the name of the firm, what does the firm do? Yeah.
Okay, so I initially came across the firm, I think it was about 2 years ago, or maybe I think early last year. It's Pinsent Masons. So they also have a program where it's internship, and then they have a program for this year.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
initially I had seen it was after the recruiter Keketso had come. Now he's moved to, I think, Weber.
The way back. Yeah.
Yeah, but he had come to do a presentation on SMA. And then after that, I sent him a message on LinkedIn, and I kind of just explained who I am and my journey, and if he thinks it would be worthwhile me applying for this internship. And at the time, I mean, between me getting excluded and stuff like that, I had taken a year off and I worked as an intern in a law firm where I'm currently working. So I had explained that to him, and then he was like, he sent me back, and he responded, and he was like, he doesn't think it would be worthwhile for me to he doesn't think I'd gain anything joining the internship, having experienced working in a law firm before. So he really encouraged me to rather apply for a candidate attorney post. So he was at the time they were already closed. So I was like, okay. So it was always at the back of my head that, okay, when Vincent Masons opens its applications, apply. Hey, and they opened these applications, and they opened. I did my application early this year. I think it was in March. It was early this year. They opened for a very short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
I think 2 weeks max. And the application is quite hectic. Like I remember opening it. You do this a lot. Okay, when you apply, you open the application, you start, and then you realize there's so many questions you need
There's a
to
lot
answer,
going
and
on.
then
Yeah.
you kind of stop. So I did that. I opened it and I realized there were videos that you had to record. So they give you like a case study, and then you can kind of have to explain how you would. It was like a legal scenario,
Yeah.
and then the one was
Yeah.
like situational, like relationship type thing in the office. So if you had like a a fallout with the colleague, stuff like that. And then they also had a written response to a legal question as well. So it required quite a bit of time. So I left it. I remember I did my application at 2 a.m. in the morning because there was that particular night I just like couldn't sleep, and I was like, "Okay, let me just go do this thing."
Yeah.
And the videos were like 45, some of them were like 45 seconds, some of them were like a minute and a half, and you have one shot. You answer the question, the countdown goes, and that's it. So I submitted that in March, and I think I submitted on the last day. Don't do that, guys. don't don't
Please.
don't
Please.
don't do that.
Uh-uh.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
And then that was that, and it was quiet, dead quiet. I even forgot about that application. Um, I actually then continued doing other ones. Then the response came in June. June, was it end of June? Yes, end of June. I got a response from Vincent inviting me to what they call an assessment center. So it's like an assessment day. It's from 10 until 4, and believe you me, they use
God.
every second of it. I left that day exhausted.
For
You
sure.
arrive there, and I think what they do is they kind of monitor your interactions with everyone. So from the moment you walk through the door, you need to be like on it. I remember I was the first person there. I was such a king bee. I was the first person there. I think I heard that there was 20 of us who were shortlisted, and they had 5 of us over 4 days. So they kind of put us in a room, and we were just chatting. So, but I later realized there was like a light on like a camera thing in the room. So I think they were kind of looking at how you interact with everyone,
Yeah.
and
I
then
understand.
from there they allocated a laptop to everyone because, like the assessment that we did it during your application process, there was something similar that we were doing that day. So the
Mm-hmm.
first thing that we did, we had an interview. So each person was allocated to an associate or a director at the firm. You went
Yeah.
into an office, and you had your interview. It was quite chilled. And maybe I was just lucky. I got someone that I really clicked with, and it felt like a conversation more than an interview. But the general questions were asked. Why you studying law, why you want to go into corporate commercial, what interests, like what fields of law you're interested in and why. A question that caught me off guard, which it really shouldn't have, if I was better prepared. They asked about articles that I had read, that were published by directors at the firm, and then they went on further and asked who wrote it. So there is one that I did read, but I didn't completely remember what it spoke about, and or who read it. So yeah, that one
Uh-huh.
was the one question that caught me off guard. But that one was, yeah, the interview went fairly well, I can say. And then the next task was they gave us a little scenario to the mergers and acquisitions type of thing, which I know nothing about. Um, and you kind of had to you were given an hour to work through the scenario and I presented to a partner, um, and he was one of the British partners because he had like thick English accent,
Yeah.
and they you had to kind of figure out what the risk factors here are, what fields of law would be required to make this merger happen, um, and really, guys, this is when you're coming out of law school, you wouldn't ordinarily know what.
Yeah.
So that one was
Yeah. Yeah.
I wink that one you wink because yeah. So, but I ended up towards the end because you present, you're given about 20 to 30 minutes to present, and then they ask you questions. Fortunately, that one also ended up kind of being a conversation with the partner.
Mhm.
But yeah, that one was quite daunting. And then the last assessment was they gave you had access to like three different five no it's about 5 6 emails, and they had different tasks. So it was one like editing the letter that was written. Another one was you had to write an email that would contribute to like the company's newsletter. Another one was a, a, a client had sent an email wanting some legal assistance. So it was different things like that. You were given an hour. It was 6 emails. It was a lot. I
So
even asked at the end, like, were we meant to finish this? Because I don't see how in an hour you could ever finish all of this. But what I think they were testing there is how you work under pressure, what you deal
yeah.
with first, whether you deal
Hmm.
with fee earning stuff first, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That having worked at a law firm actually really helped because I actually knew what fee earning stuff is. So you would firms just want to make money, guys. So you generally start with the stuff that the firm is going to
The
make money.
billables.
Yeah, the billable
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, so those are the three tasks that they made us do. It took the whole day. I remember they even invited us to a bar afterwards. None of us went. We were pushed. Like we were like, hey, it's been fun, guys, but bye. So that yeah, that was
Yeah.
the process in a nutshell.
Yeah. Okay. And so what happens after? And how long, do you wait to actually get the call?
I waited, I think it was just over a month that I waited.
Uh-huh.
And it was, yeah, it just went silent. Every other week I'd go on the little platform there and check, nothing. And then
Uh-huh.
I received a call. They called. A lady called me and was just like, yeah, we want to thank you for coming to the assessment center on such and such a day, and we wanted to give you this offer. So yeah, that's how it is. And then at a day after, they actually sent the contract. So they just call to kind of gather if you're happy, and they
Yeah.
also tell you how much you'll be earning, and then they're like, if you're happy, then are you willing to accept? And I was like, of course. So accept. I was like, is that even a question?
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
had a chat about how much you're getting paid, and I was shocked myself. I was like, ooh, I was not even getting that amount of money at CDH, child.
No, I was
But
happy, very happy, very very
yeah,
happy.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Okay, so
that
okay.
no,
Um, So I just want to maybe ask Zenande, what's one piece of advice that you could give to a law student, a law graduate, who's been trying to submit applications? It could either be maybe for VEC work,
Mm.
for articles, and they just not getting ahead. Maybe they don't know what they're not doing right. What's one piece of advice that you would give to someone who's looking at signing, maybe even with a big firm, an international law firm? What do they need to be looking out for?
You really just need to keep applying, guys. I cannot stress that enough. You need to just keep trying. See what ways you could better your CV. I don't know how many times I've edited my CV. You need to make sure that your CV is tailored to that particular firm, though. You can't just have a standard CV and kind of send it through. You need
Yeah.
to really read up on the places that you're applying at, and tailor it and send it in. Apply everywhere, like big or small. Apply everywhere,
Yes.
and every time you see a post, just send it. Just send it and ask for assistance. If you, I went so far as even sending a message to some of the CAs at Pimpton Masons before I went, just to
Oh,
gauge like what to expect. The response came in a bit late, but I think some people are very willing to. I remember there was a girl from CDH who's a CA. No, she's now associate to CDH that I once emailed, who really did like give me good advice about just keep going, just keep trying to apply. You just really never know when someone will pick up your CV and be like, okay, let's get. And I think every time they see it, they're like, okay, maybe we should try give this one a chance.
yeah.
I don't know how many times I submitted an application to ENS. I'm pretty sure the lady there knows my name. Like, just be
Yeah.
visible. Just be visible. Send messages to people for some advice where you feel you need it. Get as much assistance as you can, because I really struggle asking for help. And for me, reaching out to SMA was me needing help. So
Yeah.
that really just goes to show, if you do, then something might just come out of it. So
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Keep trying.
Yeah.
Keep trying.
I, I love that so much. I always say to some of the students in the academies that, guys, you need to be following up with law firms
You
as
need to
well.
follow
You
up.
can't just,
You need to
yeah.
follow up. If it means you must call the couple. Follow up.
Yeah. I mean, you can't just sit back and wait and think that things are going to fall into order. And we've had a
Yeah,
couple of students who, after following up, they go on DP and they see that the application has actually moved because you took initiative, right? And you actually got
yeah,
on a call with someone. Even yesterday, I was on a call with one of our students and I actually encouraged her to go to CDH. There's nothing wrong with doing that, right?
yeah.
Go and book an appointment with one of their recruiters, because that really actually shows that you really
You
want
want
this and you're
it.
being intentional about this, because there are a lot of people applying, Senande. They're not just
There's
going
so
to be
many
focusing
people.
on you.
There's so many people. There are so
Yeah,
many people. Everyone wants to be there, guys, and understandably so. Because I really, for me, the reason I also just kept going is because I really think it's very important where you start, because then it might make things easier for you going forward. So if you have a
yeah,
certain
yeah,
firm on your CV, then world's your oyster, honestly. So keep going in, and some might get irritated, but I mean, you've got very little to lose by doing it.
yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take one question. I know you've got places to be, so I'm not going to keep you for too long.
Okay.
Unokwazi is asking, what average did you have when you got accepted at Pinson Masons, and what extracurricular activities did you have? So yeah.
Okay. Average. So my LLB average is a 70 or a 71, somewhere there. Yeah, that's my LLB. LLB average. My BCom. Let's not even talk about that one. It's just a pass. And then extracurricular activities. So during my time at Wits, I was quite involved in the Wits choir. I was in the committee. I used to assist with organizing tours and stuff like that. I played a bit of sport. I and then after varsity, while I was studying from home, I got involved
Mhm.
in various I still do various businesses with family. So wherever you can, um, get involved, go for it. At the moment, I assist my mom with running student accommodation. So I'm always kind of doing something other than um the law. So yeah.
Mm, mm, mm. Okay. All right. One last question for you, Zenande. Then I think we're going to wrap things up. Zinhle is asking, do you think someone who has not worked in a law firm would have been able to answer the legal questions posed to you during the assessment phase of your interview? And there's another question, especially having had to go through failing certain modules.
Ooh, I really do think having experience in the law firm did give me an upper hand. So I don't think necessarily coming out of university you would have known what billable hours are. Even though they speak about them if you watch Suits and stuff, but I
Yeah.
don't think having practically seeing what they are and how you make them then does assist. So maybe not necessarily, but I think just having an idea, because they literally asked me what billable hours are. That was the question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I think they asked me what a fee do I know what a fee sheet is? And then I was kind of like, I have one. So yeah, it's not fun the thing. But yeah, I think it did. So maybe not. Maybe not coming. I think university does kind of limit us a bit in terms of like university and practice is quite different. So there are things that you will only be exposed to having worked in that space, which I think is
Yeah.
why it's important to do some back work.
Yes, yes. All right. Okay, Zenande, I think we can just start wrapping things up now. I really do appreciate this time and you being here. Just one last question from me, and that would be, how can someone start building resilience, right? If they don't feel naturally resilient. I mean, how did you do it? What tips or tricks can you share with us just before I let you go?
Yo, that's a difficult one. I think we also just need to give ourselves time to be sad,
Yes,
to kind of mope around a bit, but don't
yes.
do that for too long. And
Yeah.
then kind of you need to be a planner. You need to write down what I want.
Uh-huh.
And kind of develop a plan of how you intend of achieving on achieving it, even though things may not go according to plan completely. At
Uh-huh.
least you have like a skeleton of where you are going. So I think just having a
Yes.
set plan will kind of help push you, and you'll be a reminder that this is where I need to go. So even though I may feel like, okay, right now it's not great, because I had lots of those guys. I remember sending a message to a friend of mine, and I was like, friend, my life is literally falling apart right now. And now,
Mm.
and that was maybe 3 years ago, and now we're sitting here. So I think also surrounding yourself with community that's going to motivate you. If you look at this of live right now, so much of my family and friends are on. And those are the people, Zintle is one of them.
Oh,
Those are the people that really kept me going. So surrounding
yeah.
yourself with people that know what you want for yourself and also kind of have the same vision, it really does assist. Like I've had my cheerleaders, guys, have really been my pushers. Zintle and my little sister Yonela, I saw them there somewhere, have
Oh,
really just kept me going. So surround yourself with people who understand where you want to be, and just having a written down reminder of where you want to be, just to have
yes.
something to get you up when you're down. That I think that's how you can do it.
Fernande, it's been an absolute pleasure. And Saint-Clair, little sister, thank you so much for being there for this girl. Our community is so important, guys. Support is so important in this journey. Thank you so much, Senande. I really do appreciate you being here. And I wish you all the best with the future ahead and your articles journey. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worthwhile, and I think you're just going to be a better lawyer one day. So really, thank you
Thank you
so
so
much
much.
for being here.
Thank you so much, Sivu, and thank you to the whole SMA family. I remember you guys really assisted me with that mock interview. I think it made me, it really helped me kind of relax a little bit more after going through it. So, yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much. I think I'm going to stay on for a couple of minutes just to answer a couple of questions. But thank you so much, and we'll chat again soon.
All right, thank you. Bye,
All
guys.
right. Thank you. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I don't know if there's still questions here, but Zenande had to be somewhere else, so we couldn't, stay on for too long. Let me just see if any questions came through. Will this live be saved? Yes, I'm going to save it. If you failed to take part in any extracurricular activities, would it benefit me if I try by all means to job shadow any law firm during these holidays? My marks are good, but this part weighs me down. Lihlohonolo, so that's never a bad idea, right? You need practical experience, you need exposure. So if it means that you need to go and reach out to law firms and ask, for job shadowing opportunities, please do that, right? So you can't have a bland CV, right? When you're going to be applying for articles or for vacation work, they need to see something. So it doesn't just have to be job shadowing. I mean, there are virtual experience programs as well that you guys can take up on Forage, but do something, right? You can't just be a bookworm and all you're doing is going to the library and writing tests and that's it. That's not going to set you apart. That's not going to be your competitive advantage. Law firms want to see that you have a growth mindset and that you're honing in on your leadership skills, you're honing in on your time management skills, your interpersonal skills, and how you're able to just work with people. So I would strongly encourage you to do that. It really will just stand you in good stead. So yes, go ahead, give it a shot. And yeah, will she be working virtual or relocate? Since it's an international firm, will she be working? Um, no, so she's going to be based in Johannesburg, right? Pinson Masons is based in Johannesburg. That's where she's going to be working. She's not relocating internationally or anything like that. Apart from mock interviews, do you guys help with assessment days at international law firms? Um, so not quite, because how law firms run the assessment days or assessment centers is quite different and unique. So you never really know what's going to go on during the assessment day, right? Because you also sign a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA with the firm. You can't be disclosing what went down during the assessment day. So not quite with that, but we are able to sort of support you with other things as well. So your soft skills and maybe how to navigate that generally. Maybe it's a psychometric assessment. We're able to help you out a bit with that. Or what we can even do is link you up with a student of ours who has gone through the same thing, and they can be able to then, just offer some advice on how you can best go about preparing for that. So we have a huge network at SMA. There's always someone who's going to be able to give you some advice on, what's going down in your assessment day or your psychometric assessments, because we've got a lot of students signed to these law firms. Let me see. Becoming Dr. Mdu, you are asking if I was twice a subcom in my first year and in my second year, I'm not. How do law firms take that into consideration? Or if I was once a subcom? Guys, Look, this is simple, all right? What's important is for you to acknowledge the fact that law firms are looking for well-rounded candidates, right? And that looks different. It's not going to look the same, with the next candidate. There are many leadership roles that you can join in university. There's so many organizations you can be part of. There's moot court competitions. And it doesn't always necessarily have to be, a legal internship or something legal related. Volunteering work is something as well because it shows that you are putting yourself out there. So don't think that it always has to be technical and legal all the time. Yes, we do want to see that, right? You can't not have the technical legal stuff. You should. So your moot court competitions, your virtual experience programs, but you can supplement that with other things as well. But the point here is that you need to be able to distinguish yourself from your competitors, right? It's a dog eat dog world. And so you need to realize that it's very difficult to sign articles. And so if you're going to be complacent and just relying on your marks, you've got another thing coming at you, right? And I'm not saying, take up 10 leadership roles. No, it must never be at the detriment of your academics, but you just need to be someone who's really intentional about their career and you want to actually be an impressive candidate to law firms. So I hope that answers your question, becoming Dr. Doom. I do have those virtual certificates, I think roughly 2 to 3. Great stuff, Mr. Honolo. I think the issue might be my CV or cover letter now. I will get in touch with you. Please do. We will help you out with that. We draft CVs and cover letters at SMA on a daily basis. It's crazy. And we're going to be able to sort you out. So please do reach out. Let's help you. Let's see what other questions are here. Love Lungani, I just need clarity on something. If a law firm only has candidate attorney program applications on their website, does that mean that they will pick vacation work students from those applicants? No, so you should know if a law firm is running a vacation work program or not, right? So if they're not running a vacation work program, then that's it. They're just looking for candidate attorneys and they're not going to be taking you through any VAC work program with them. You will have an interview or rounds of interviews with the firm. They might make you do a couple of assessments, but that's it, right? And they're going to sign you and end of story. So if there's no indication that a law firm is running a VEC work program, then the assumption is that they don't have a structured vacation work program. Not every law firm is going to run VEC work for their students. Let's see. Thanks, Sivu, for the session. I personally feel extra motivated after hearing this inspiring story of resilience. At the end of the day, we are limited only by the boundaries we set ourselves. That is beautiful. And I think that's, something I am definitely, going to take moving forward as well, is that life happens, guys. You're going to get knocked down. I still get knocked down myself, a lot of times, but it's how you look at things that shifts everything for you, right? If you change your perspective about something, if you change your perspective about rejection, what you start looking at as well starts to change. So I really resonate with that quite a lot. Guys, I don't see any other questions, so I think I'm going to close it off here. Thank you so much for joining in. And if you are considering joining SMA, if you want to find out about our work and what we do, how we can help you secure VEC work, how we can help you secure articles, or you just need us to help you with your CV, you've got an upcoming interview, you would like us to help you with that, or you want us to draft a cover letter for you, please do reach out to us. You can send us a DM, you can reach out via email, you can send us a WhatsApp text. and let's help you get ahead. I know how difficult it is to sign articles or get VEC work, but you just need to keep on pressing forward, right? And just trust that things are going to connect. The dots always connect. You're going to look back um, one day and things are just going to make sense. But it doesn't mean that you just need to sit back and do nothing. You need to be in action on a daily basis. And with that, I am going to love and leave you guys. Thank you so much. And do have a fantastic weekend. Take care. Bye, everyone. Thanks.